But I think one of the big positives of this game, in fact, I think it's the biggest positive, is for the first time all year, they dealt with adversity. Let me actually amend that. For the first time in the regular season, they dealt with adversity. They didn't get off to the greatest start. Drexel was shooting out of its mind. You had a player go down to an injury in Tyler Betsey, and hopefully again that he's okay with a left ankle injury, it appears. You had a bad sequence at the end of the first half, which led to a three-pointer for Drexel, and Syracuse only had a 1-point lead with a few minutes left in the first half. And it's one thing to overcome adversity. It's another thing when you just shatter right through it. You just get over that mental block. And this is what good teams do. Duke, if you've been paying attention, they did not get off to the greatest start against Indiana State. I think they were trailing 14-4 in the beginning of that game. They won in a blowout. NC State at times this season, they have not gotten off to the greatest start in the world in the first half, and they blow teams out. I'm not expecting perfection, nor should you expect perfection. Sometimes the team is going to be a little flat. They're not going to be playing well. But it's how you overcome it. And Syracuse didn't overcome it by beating Drexel by 11 points or hanging on and beating Drexel by 7, which would cause a much different reaction. They won this game by 30. If not for a garbage time bucket, Syracuse would have held its third consecutive opponent to under 50 points. So it's great that they got a little bit of a taste of adversity, and it's even better that they shattered through that adversity. Now let's get to the defense. They are absolutely incredible. This is 3 dominant defensive games to start the season, and it's really a collective effort. Like, there are some standouts on defense. There are guys you can tell that are better than others at defending, but it's a group effort. And I got to give a lot of credit to Adrian Autry to start, the head coach of Syracuse basketball. I've called him out for the past 2 years for a poor Syracuse basketball defense. Evidently, he can build a roster that can play defense. They're not doing anything revolutionary in the game of basketball. They're playing mostly man-to-man. Occasionally, they will use full court pressure. They're just communicating properly. Very rarely are they, in these 3 games to start the year, and this game against Drexel, letting up a ton of open shots. They're making their opponent work for every basket. And since this is Division I basketball, you're going to give up points. The other team, they get paid too. The other team is also supposed to score points. They're trying to win the game. So occasionally there's going to be a breakdown. Occasionally a team is going to make a tough shot. But much more often than not, Syracuse is not allowing easy looks. And on top of that, they're creating havoc. They're forcing turnovers. William Kyle is everything and more through these first 3 games for Syracuse basketball. Everything and more. He's not just an elite shot blocker. He is an elite shot blocker. He can definitely block shots, but he can step up. He can guard the 3-point line. He can contest shots at a very high level. He's got that long wingspan. He's got good hands, active feet, creates steals. Donnie Freeman, by the way, he looks like a different defender as well. Night and day from what we saw from him last year. Akir Soare, I want to shout out him because he doesn't play a whole lot. But whenever he's on the floor, I know what he can bring. He's useful. And William Kyle, as much as I've been praising him, he can't play 35 minutes. Or at least he hasn't shown that yet. Let me look at the box score right now. How many minutes did William Kyle play? 26. That's about what you want from William Kyle. So you need someone else to take up those minutes. Akir Soiree, whenever he's in the game, maybe he's not the same offensive threat like William Kyle, but he is an elite defender too. He is an elite defender. Sadiq White, what else is there to really say about him? This kid is going to be amazing. It's just a matter of when, because he already has a high motor. He already plays with high energy. And he is an excellent defender as well. He can guard 1 through 4 easily. He's a stopper. He is exactly what I hoped he would be coming into Syracuse. That whenever he's in the game, he's providing a ton of energy. He can run up and down the floor. He can jump through the gym. And he can play elite defense. Those are just some of the standouts, but it's everyone. Even Nate Kingz, not off to the greatest start shooting. There were moments in the second half where he was terrific on defense. There was at one point where he got back in transition, held up. I forgot who was driving the ball for Drexel, but he held up the guy just enough for Donnie Freeman to get back and get a chase down block. And then right after that, Nate Kingz gets his own chase down block. So it's everyone that's contributing on defense. And finally, it leads me to this. And this is what I teased going into this segment. This team has an identity. They do. Last year, for an entire season, we were trying to figure out what Syracuse basketball's identity was. What was it that they want to do when they're on the court? What are you known for? What can we expect from you? That's really what an identity is all about. This team plays together. They want to play with maximum effort. They want to run up and down the floor. And they want to play elite defense. That's their identity. How is it going to hold up over the course of an entire season? That's anyone's guess. But at least through 3 games, we can definitively say we know how Syracuse wants to play when they are at their best. Get out in transition, get to the basket, use William Kyle's athleticism for putbacks and alley-oops, play elite defense, force turnovers. Comment your thoughts in the comment section below. What am I missing? What am I missing? The whole team looks amazing. And I'm laughing about it. They all look really, really good. Now, we know what the elephant in the room is. Hint, hint. Vegas. But I'm feeling a little bit more confident. I don't think you can really deny that. I'm more excited now about Vegas than I was maybe before the year. That's for sure. I now want to see Syracuse go up against Houston and see what they can do. They may not win, although they're allowed to win. But I'm excited to see it happen. There's expectations now. I'm excited to see whether or not Syracuse can keep up with Kansas and the third team they're going to play in Vegas. And when they get back to the Dome and they got to play Tennessee in the ACC SEC Challenge. I'm excited for Syracuse basketball in ACC play. How are they going to be against Duke and Cameron Indoor? How are they going to be against Carolina when they have to play them twice this season? I'm not sitting here declaring Syracuse basketball is back. That they are going to be one of the best teams of the season. They're going to march their way to March Madness. But all the early signs are saying that Syracuse basketball may, in fact, have a really good team this year. And that's what gets me excited for this season.